Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to analyze or annotate this poem. It's called Poem About Your Laugh by Susan Glickman. So the first thing I'm going to fill out is, this is poetry analysis number 3 for me. And it's called Poem About Your Laugh. And Susan, how do I spell her name? Glickman. Glickman. Okay, so let's have a read. Poem About Your Laugh by Susan Glickman. When you laugh, it is all the unsynchronized clocks in the watchmaker's shop striking their dissident hours. It is 6 blind kittens having the nipples plucked from their mouths. It is the ecstatic susurrus of prayer wheels. When you laugh, innumerable pine trees shed their needles at once on one side of the forest, indefinably altering the ecosystem. 1,000 miles away, 2 sharks lose their taste for blood, mate, start a new species. When you laugh, your mouth is the mammoth cave in Kentucky, and I can curl up there among the bats, intercepting their sonar. Oh, your mouth is a diver's bell. It takes me down untold fathoms. And when you laugh, old dogs limp to new patches of sunlight, which they bury for later, knowing something about need. Wow, cool. Lots of imagery there. So I have read to experience the poem. Now I'm going to notice the poem. So definitely a lot of metaphors here. When you laugh, it is all the unsynchronized clocks. So we have a metaphor comparing your laugh to the unsynchronized clocks in the watchmaker's shop, striking their dissident hours. Now, okay, I don't know. This imagery is insane. Can you imagine a clock shop and at 6 o'clock, for example, all the clocks go off, but they're all like a second or two varied from each other. So for like a minute, it's just a cacophony, an absolute chaos of clocks. So this, for me, imagery, remember, is any of the 5 senses. So this is definitely sound imagery. Very cool. Striking their dissident hours. Oh, I kind of like that. Striking their dissident hours. So there's some consonants with that repeated consonant sound. It is 6 blind kittens having the nipples plucked from their mouths. So kittens who are so young they can't see yet, being taken away from their mothers or having their mother decide to get up and take their milk source away. So this is some more imagery for me. Those teeny tiny little blind kittens, so young that they haven't opened their eyes yet. So for this is sight imagery for me. Sight imagery of the blind kittens. It is the ecstatic susurrus of prayer wheels. When you laugh, innumerable pine trees shed their needles at once on one side of the forest, indefinitely altering the ecosystem. So this is some more imagery for me. Not necessarily even pine needles, but when it's a big storm or when it's just really windy and a whole bunch of leaves or needles or even snow release all at once, and it's this beautiful like cascade. It's so interesting to watch, right? So this is sight imagery for sure for me. 1,000 miles away, two sharks lose their taste for blood. Mate, start a new species. Okay, very cool. When you laugh, your mouth is the Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. There's some more consonants. Mouth, mammoth. So consonants. Oh, and of course, this is another example of metaphor, right? So the mouth is the Mammoth Cave. So obviously the mouth is enormous, like a cave. And I can curl up there among the bats, intercepting their sonar. Oh, your mouth is a diver's bell. It takes me down untold fathoms. So fathom is a unit of measure in the ocean. So the ocean's depths. So untold fathoms. So the laugh takes this speaker to such depths. Takes me down untold fathoms. So maybe to a place or an experience that they haven't had before. And when you laugh, old dogs limp to new patches of sunlight, which they bury for later, knowing something about need. Okay, so first of all, I have this imagery here of the first two lines. If you have a pet or have ever had a pet who loves to lay in the sun, they will actually lay in the sun, and then when the sun is moves and the reflection through, or the light through the window shifts through the day, the animal will get up and move to the new patch of sun and then move again to the new patch of sun. So this is definitely imagery for me, because I can imagine that in my mind, that picture in my mind, which they bury for later, knowing something about need. This is kind of puzzling to me. What does that mean? Knowing something about need. So if it's old dogs, does that mean that they are using their experience, their own knowledge of their life about following the sun or looking for comfort, maybe storing it for later? So dogs bury bones, right? I can make a bone there. Knowing something about need. So I'm just not sure about that, but I'm very curious. Old dogs limp to new patches of sunlight, which they bury for later, knowing something about need. So I'm going to just say they're seeking comfort. But I'm going to put a question mark because I'm just not sure about that. It's very curious. Okay, so I've definitely noticed some literary devices. Now, what is the mood of the poem? What kind of impression does the reader get? Is this a silly poem? Is this a scary poem? I think that this is a very thoughtful, thoughtful in the sense that it's full of deep thinking, thoughtful, and also loving. Honestly, it sounds like this person's laugh is the most magical thing in the world, really. So loving, and I'm even going to say admiring. Okay. And let's look at the form of the poem. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stanzas. 6 lines, 6 lines, 6 lines, 4 lines. So I'm just going to make a note of that. 4 stanzas, and it's 6, 6, 6, 4. Okay, interesting. The number 3, the overall message or theme. I think the overall message or theme is just one of admiration or awe. Or maybe this seeking comfort is actually symbolizing or representing how all of these things bring comfort to the speaker. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so I'm going to say that the overall message is, so it says when you laugh. So I'm going to say your, we don't know who you is, but your laugh is everything to the speaker. And brings comfort. Okay. Number 4. What is my favorite line and why? I think my favorite line is the unsynchronized clocks. First of all, I love large, long words like that. So I'm going to say unsynchronized clocks. And actually, I'm going to remove that last. Unsynchronized clocks, ... means I'm removing some of the words. And then striking, because that is really the image, the sound imagery that I take out of this. Unsynchronized clocks striking my favorite line because it is so, like, honestly, what that would sound like is so overwhelmingly, oh my gosh. What happened there? Overwhelmingly chaotic. So again, it's kind of interesting how we started with this chaotic noise and sound. Maybe the 6 blind kittens having their food source taken away. That's kind of interesting. And then we're talking about comfort here, curling up among the bats. This is quite a journey of different emotions in here, hey? So there is my analysis of Poem About Your Laugh.